Can I shadow into? Can I help? Yeah! Get him! Get him! Let me on. Oh.
Hello and welcome back to the Game Boys podcast. As always, I'm Will and I'm joined with my dad.
What's up? It's James.
So, Pops, how you doing this week?
I'm doing, man. Doing all I can.
Work hard this week?
Yeah. No, not really. Just long. It ain't really hard work.
Yeah,
Just long work.
Yeah, I get that. A lot of times it feels draining too. Like the easy work, but it's long.
Yeah.
Trains your soul. So as always, we're gonna start out with our stream talk, our book reports, if you will.
Book reports.
Would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure, man. I played Fade to Silence on PS4. Oh, it was just oh man, it was a survival game, which is way outside of my element. But I gave it a shot. Graphically, this game was pretty good. I mean, I don't think they really tapped into too much imagination, considering it took place in a frozen apocalyptic, like
Wonderland.
post-apocalyptic, whatever you want to call it. So basically, snow and more snow.
Did it feel kind of empty?
Yeah, it felt a little like, vast or whatever, but I guess that's how it should feel in a post-apocalyptic. It shouldn't be like full.
Yeah.
The character models, like as far as people, look cool. I think they didn't have very many enemy models, or at least none that I've come across. It was real, like pure. I would have enjoyed it more if it was less survival, like really, like I could do without having to feed myself in a video game.
Yeah.
I get that that's how people survive in real life, and in fact, it was so cold in the game that was another element. So like you would think, like most games, you want the enemies to be the real challenge.
Yeah.
Not the elements. Like I would whoop the enemy's ass, but I'd be afraid to fight them because it's like, you know what I'm saying? You're taking them on, but they're holding you back from getting to whatever that damn shit you got to do just to stay alive.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you're taking some damage. It ain't like I was flawless against the enemies. That they would hit me every once in a while. It'd be annoying.
Yeah. Was there a story to this game, or was it just thrown out into a world and you play?
I think the story would have unraveled as you went along, because I mean, you had your daughter at the camp. There was like some almost like Grim Reaper-esque type dude that's like allowing you to like live. It basically brought you back to life at the very beginning of the game and was trying to like make you his bitch.
Okay.
And but the whole time he's taunting you basically that you can't survive. Look at you little weakling, you're using herbs to heal. It's not going to save you forever. Can't save you from this cold. And speaking of that, I didn't know what would save you from the cold, because I thought, building a fire.
Yeah, I heard you talking about that, because
it's frustrating because, like, okay, so you have like a damage bar.
Yeah.
And that bar, as you freeze, your bar freezes. So I think, like, okay, so then, like, if you take damage and what's left of your bar, you can heal that part, but it won't heal past it into the frozen section.
Oh, okay.
So it sucks. I'm like trying to figure out how in the hell. I'm sure there's a way
Set yourself on fire.
Yeah, burn yourself. But no,
Right.
like, so I thought, maybe if you slept by the fire, you would thaw out, and that frozen section of your health bar would no longer be frozen, but that turned out to be not
No.
incorrect. So, try again, I guess. So it's permadeath, but you get like you have like basically like 3 lives to begin with. So you survive as long as you can till you die. That's 1. Survive again till you die and try to accomplish as much shit as you can. Then you die.
Mhm.
That's 2. And then you're on your very last life. So I played basically all the way up until I exhausted my
3
lives.
lives. Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw.
but
when
you learn a little bit and you figure shit out. Like, it's not holding your hand. It's not sitting there telling you every little. It told you at the very beginning how to move, how to
basics.
swing a weapon, the fact that you need to craft literally everything.
Most survival games are like that.
Yeah.
They
So
drop
I
you in
expected
without.
some of it. I just didn't expect to have to fight the damn like from freezing
Elements, shit like that.
and
those
from
are
starving, and not even just me. So like if I recruit a buddy,
Mhm.
I have to gather food or have them gather food in order to keep the people at the base camp alive as well.
Yeah. See, that's more
hunting
of
didn't happen until I figured out how to make a bow.
Yeah.
Which
That-
you have to make like the materials that make the bows from shit that you find out in the wilderness.
That seems like a more advanced type of survival game than what I'm used to. Because I mean, the survival games I play are like fucking, I don't know, Minecraft.
Yeah, see, I don't know nothing. I know all I know is Minecraft looks 0% interesting to me.
Minecraft, you don't have to worry about like overheating
and, eating and
no, you have to eat, but
see, most of the games I've ever played where like eating is involved, it's just to regenerate health.
So basically, in Minecraft,
versus
eating
like just to survive. Like my gut was like, blah, 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 and I couldn't find food anywhere.
But basically, in Minecraft, eating is like refilling your stamina, and if your stamina's full, it'll regain your health. But if your stamina is completely empty, you'll take some damage.
So another jacked up part of the crafting is that most of the time you can only do the crafting by a campfire. So you gotta go out and gather wood and whatever, and then make this fire. Then you can sit at that fire and do your crafting. So I don't know if I did notice though, like nothing really broke. Like you have like a torch and you beat the shit out of the bad guys with it, and nothing actually broke. Like it didn't like snap like it does in like Left 4 Dead or whatever, where eventually you hit them enough times and you just break your weapon.
Your makeshift weapon.
So I had to build a
but you said Left 4 Dead. Did you mean Dead Rising?
Down. Oh, Left 4 Dead's the same way.
Is it?
Yeah, you like when you get like a baseball bat, you can hit them so many times and it cracks and breaks.
I don't remember that, but okay, yeah.
Same idea. Yeah. But I mean, and I think even your guns wither down eventually, like if you pick one up. So anyway, some of the cool things that I think I missed out, like because I didn't play long enough or good enough. You have to free up like it's like infested with like something, I don't even know what, some kind of plague or something. And you have to cleanse the area. Sometimes, one of them when I cleansed it, a dog appeared out of the mess that I cleansed it out of. Apparently you can get like dogs and run a sled and get around a lot quicker.
Oh, okay.
But obviously you probably got to feed the damn dogs, and the dogs can probably die too.
Now, you said there was hunting and stuff. Yeah. Could you have like made like a coat out of like animal hide or something?
I noticed when I skinned the animals, the hide is not available.
Okay.
I thought that was a little disappointing too, because I mean, you're already wearing a lot of clothes, but you're still freezing.
Okay, that's why I was wondering.
Yeah, that would have been cool, but no, I didn't see that. Eventually, you can start crafting like buildings, because I see where that was like a thing. Like the more shit you gather and keep stowed away or stored or whatever.
Maybe you have to be in a building to stay warm.
There wasn't no buildings really, like buildings.
Like
not
maybe you
yet
have to
anyway.
build one.
But by then I'm dead and frozen.
Yeah.
It was like a race against time. Like, was I going to freeze first, or was I going to get whatever I needed to get done? I was hoping that there was a way to thaw out. I'm sure there is. I just didn't. I didn't find it. And I didn't really research it. So,
on a scale of 1 to 10, where would you rate this?
surprisingly, even despite all the frustration and the survival aspects, I would give it at least about a 7.
Okay.
It wasn't bad. I still left it downloaded. I do
So it's
want to
cool.
give it another shot just to see how much further I can get, which is odd for me because I don't like those types of games where it's like,
Is there a co-op aspect to it?
I don't believe there is.
Okay, because
I couldn't imagine there would be.
I mostly find those survival games fun when you have a second person to help out.
Yeah, I
Otherwise,
didn't
it can
see
be
anything
frustrating.
along those lines. I think it's really literally a single player game.
Got you. So it's a playlist, right?
Yeah, it's playlist for now. I want to give it another shot and take what I learned from my first playthrough, or when I can't really call it a playthrough because I didn't finish
Yeah.
it, but my first attempt, and then see how much more I can accomplish. I need to do the research. I got to find out how to thaw out, because if I can't thaw out,
It's never worth buying.
I mean, even like, you can craft potions, but maybe there's a potion that will thaw your ass out because that'll regain your actual health bar.
Shit.
Something, because I thought the fire would work. That would seem like the obvious answer, but it wasn't.
Maybe it's like the Breath of a Wild approach where you take a pepper, you eat the pepper, and you have
Hey,
cold
whatever,
resistance for
whatever
so long.
works, man. Gives you bad gas, but ultimately, heartburn and all that shit,
Yeah.
and increases your health bar. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
I just got to find a way to get past that because I seem to have been doing okay. Otherwise, like I raced and found the firewood. It took a long time to figure that out. But then I found this, I found that. I was getting people to join along with me. Like I found a dude that was a undertaker.
Mhm.
Which is funny because I was telling him, I was like, put the fire out. And I'm thinking, why are you telling him to put the damn? He got a giant fire. And my character was telling him to put the fire out because the fire attracts evil. I'm like, you need to stand by that fire and thaw your bitch ass out. You know what I mean? Like the whole time, I'm like, why are you telling him to put the fire out? But so like we had to basically fight off a horde of bad guys together. And then that got him to allow me to recruit him into my group. But I mean, so I was learning things, I was accomplishing things, but if I can't thaw out, I can't get anywhere. So I think if I do that, I'll get a lot further, and I'll probably have myself that Iditarod team from hell of like 9 damn wolves pulling a cart or whatever. So that's where I'm at with that. So it's definitely at least playlist for now. I can't promise when I'm going to get back to it with everything else, but I would like to get back to it.
So the game I played was called Contrast. And Contrast was I'm going to call it a puzzle platform game.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of platforming, but it's mostly a puzzle game.
It's not heavy action by any means.
No, definitely not.
But it's not a walking simulator either. So,
No. God, that.
or point and click adventure.
Yeah. So, in Contrast, it is like a 1920s based game. I think it said
It looked like 20s.
it has that art style, and it's absolutely fantastic looking. Like that art style looks amazing. And right off the bat, as soon as I started up the game, I was sitting in the start screen, setting everything up for my stream. The music, oh my god, that music is fantastic. It's that nice, like, what do they call that kind of music? Is it jazz? Blues, maybe?
Yeah, I think it's some sort of like, was it like ragtime or some?
So it's like
it's cool.
it's those movies that scene you see in movies where the girl's on stage dancing and she goes out into the audience and stuff like that.
Kind of like
that
what
type
you
of
see,
music.
what you see on The Mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the exact scene I was thinking about, honestly.
Yeah.
Um,
Or the Jessica Rabbit.
So in contrast, you are a well, I'm not exactly sure. I
What is
think
your character's name? Because I know that
Dawn.
Dee Dee is the little girl, right?
Dee Dee's the little girl. Your name is Dawn. So
And Dee Dee's mom has got it going on. Her shadow looks great anyway.
so I never totally understood what was going on, like with who you are, because all you see from other characters besides Dee Dee is their shadows. Like you are looking directly at Dee Dee hugging her mom, but her mom isn't there. You just see the outline on her shadow.
Mm-hmm.
So I never realized if you were like imaginary or this was all in someone's head. And um looking through the collectibles I ended up picking up, because I picked up every single collectible in the first level and all the collectibles in the second one, but not all the orbs in the second one.
The
I missed
light,
three.
whatever they were, some kind of light, something. Yeah.
Something like that.
Luminaries or something.
Yeah, I missed three, but they're not required to 100% apparently. And I only started collecting all the collectibles because they were super easy to get. I was getting them just walking about through the mission and stuff. But I realized that the collectibles tell the real story. So the story they show front up to your face is Dee Dee's mom kicked her dad out for doing some shady business with some shady people and being kind of,
Whereas he apparently was cheating or something. Because
there was one scene where she mentioned him cheating, but he swears that he didn't touch them.
Yeah.
And that's what you see on the outside. But if you look through the collectibles and stuff, there are notes from, I don't remember what they were called in the game, but essentially DSS.
As well as something about her having a mental.
I'm going to get to that. Basically, where the mother is begging them not to take her daughter away, and it talks about how she's left a home for the night because her mother goes and works at that club. And in another note, it mentioned the whole mental health thing, where it said Dee Dee has a very active imagination, but it also kind of seemed to point towards like Dee Dee's crazy, or maybe even the mother's a little crazy. I can't remember exactly what it said, but as soon I was sat there and I read it for a minute, I was like, I think this girl has some kind of problem. Like, what's it called? Schizophrenia.
So my hot take before, like early in the game, was what?
Dee Dee's mom has it going on?
No. Was that I thought this was all going on in her head.
Yeah, and I totally.
I think honestly, also another thing I didn't mention is I think Dawn and Dee Dee are the same person.
I was going to bring that up. So the world itself, while you're walking through the levels and everything, it kind of seems like it's more of a memory or a dream, or like you said, in her head. And I personally think it's a memory type deal, because it kind of seemed like the world was barely put together. Like there are spots where the world is literally like not there.
But the key buildings and the key
key buildings are there, stuff like that. And you could for mechanics reasons, you ran into an like not an object, but one of those things you run into to activate some kind of cutscene or something. And it would play a memory of a scene that you literally just saw a bit ago as like a projection. So in my head, that thinks, okay, this is like memories or something. And I didn't put this together till like after I stopped streaming. So, I never got far enough to the game to get to the end to see if it is just a dream, just stuff like that. Mostly because I wanted to go back to the first level and collect the last Luminous I missed. And I'm going to go back to level 2 and collect the 3 I missed. And, because basically this game is so easy to get those collectibles, I'm probably going to end up 100%ing it. But spoiler alert, this is a stay list probably completion version.
Once it's completed, though, it's no longer. It's probably off, huh?
I mean, yeah, one no, not
No point. When
Yeah.
you 100% complete it, then
Yeah,
there's nothing
yeah.
else to do.
just because it seems so easy to do. Um,
I know.
yeah.
Okay, so in my playthrough of my game, or the part that I played in my game,
mhm.
I got 9 trophies, but it looked like you had damn achievements popping off way more than what I
Oh.
had. So
Yeah, I got a bunch of achievements just for doing the collectibles. I got like 6 achievements just for the collectibles, and I only did 2 levels. And there was like an achievement for falling off a fucking sign. There's achievements for
yeah, I
just
saw
doing
that.
random stuff. There was an achievement just for checking a picture. You know, it was real simple stuff. But yeah, I got to a point where we fixed up an amusement park rides for Dee Dee's dad. And you know, I don't I don't really remember the whole story behind why he bought an amusement park, because he's in debt mostly. Or it was a circus, sorry. Circus. He's in debt and he's trying to make money up for his family. And it's also revealed that maybe I don't want to give all this away.
Don't do any spoilers, but ultimately, just
Yeah, this is gonna be a spoiler. So play the game. I highly enjoyed it. It looks fucking great. The soundtrack is absolutely beautiful.
so tell them how it's played, though. That's one thing you didn't really mention.
Oh, right. I didn't actually bring up
That's
gameplay.
that's a huge part of
So
what makes this game unique.
So you play as Dawn, who is this tall, emo-looking chick, or gothic woman. And you solve puzzles by phasing into shadows. They call it shifting. So you can shift into the wall, and the shadows become like the platforms or floors, walls, stuff like that. So, you know, basically you move around light and stuff like that. Like, I literally moved around a projector in one room
I
to
like that
create a
like,
shadow.
it tells you what you can interact with.
Yeah,
Like
it
puts a
shows little
sparkly
sparkles.
dust
Yeah.
looking stuff.
And I found out orange sparkles are mission important stuff to get you progressing through the story. White sparkles are collectibles. I realized that way too late in, after I had already ended up collecting all the collectibles anyways. I realized that in Act 2, actually.
So that's the whole puzzle aspect of it, is figuring out how to traverse the levels.
So you figure out where you go and what kind of light you have to manipulate to create the shadows for you to platform off of. And I did encounter one problem where the game just wasn't fucking working for some reason.
Yeah.
It was in that theater type deal. Basically, you put a hat on and you're supposed to go into the picture and act like a princess. For whatever reason, it just never gave me the option to go into the shadows. And I spent a good 10 minutes looking around that area. Like, what am I doing wrong here? And eventually I just reset from my checkpoint and went to it was 3 different areas you could go to, but you had to complete them all. I just went to a different area, did that one first, came back, and it worked perfectly. So if you run into something like that, just reset from checkpoint.
Yeah, that was weird. It didn't work. The cool little scene where you acted out a play or whatever.
Yeah, that was cool. That was probably the most action you're probably going to get from this game.
Yeah. That actually played out like a platformer.
Yeah. What else should I talk about? I think that's all I'm going to bring up for now. Like I said, this is definitely a stay list, and I would actually give this probably my highest rating so far. I think this was a 9, dude.
Easily, yeah, probably.
This
really
game
cool.
is absolutely amazing.
Just the fact that I was able to pull you away from Pokemon, and you actually stayed on the damn game for like 3 hours.
It was 2.
Or 2. Well, it was a little more than 2, I think.
And it was like 2:15 maybe. Yeah. And I only got off because 1, I did want to go back to Pokemon, and 2, puzzle games fuck with my head, man. I'm not good at puzzles. Shit, you saw that same one where I was moving the projector around. I struggled for like 15 minutes to realize that I had it right the first time I did it.
So
I-
yeah.
I'm also not a big fan of platformers either, but
I mean, it depends on the platformer, like and how well, like something like that will keep you though. I mean, whether you're a
Yeah.
fan of that style or not.
I thought, everything mixed together just made it a really, really good game.
It's well done. It was very well put together.
Oh,
Kudos to whatever the developers for that is.
I fucking remember. I know it was Unreal. I know they used Unreal Engine 5, but I can't remember what developer it was. Oh, but yeah, it's fucking fantastic game.
That was another game that looks like kind of with the weird like art style. It would have been great on like a 3DS, just for the foreground background type thing, but not
Yeah,
quite to the
ooh.
level of the game that I played like that.
I
But
think that would have been good.
because you don't really require. It's not like graphically demanding to make that game.
No.
It's a lot of neat colors, and I get why it's called contrast, by the way. But
Oh yeah, yeah.
so yeah, I understand that, and that makes perfect sense.
I really look forward to finding out the whole story between how you can only see DD, but there's
Everyone else
obviously
is a shadow.
there's interaction with other people. And I
Yeah.
even made it a point at one point. There was a point where you could you shined a spotlight on the band. I made it to a point to where I would walk to where the band member would be sitting, and to see if there was any kind of like hitbox or anything.
Or
For
did
them.
something push you like?
Yeah,
Like,
and it didn't, by the way. But if I was to phase into the shadow
you could probably
And
get
their
on top
shadow
of
was-
them. Yeah.
where their shadow was, it would affect my movement and stuff like that. Like there's literally a scene where you're jumping up
On top of people's shadows.
Yeah, yeah. Anyways, we should move on to our next topic because everyone go play this game. Seriously,
Yeah.
it was a lot
Play
of fun.
it.
Dad, you're gonna go download it.
If you like survival games, play the one I played, because if
Don't
I
play
like
this game.
survival games, I probably would have liked it even more.
But no, I seriously think this game was a 9. Besides that one spot where I got stuck.
That's cool. All right, so let's move along here. How about since I already mentioned it, go ahead and tell us about your Pokemon game.
Okay, so I just wanted to bring up, yesterday, Friday the 18th, the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet released. I have played this game. The last time I checked the in-game clock, how long it tells you, I played for 18 hours. And I'm pretty sure it's up to like 25 now. They have changed their whole way of doing it. There's now 3 storylines you can do in whichever order you want, or you can even go, you want to start this storyline, go to the next one, do it however you want. It's completely open world. It looks fucking beautiful, and I'm just addicted to it right now. More addicted than usual. Like, this is from the first time I've ever picked up a Pokemon game, Pokemon Blue. This is the most fun I've ever had with a Pokemon game. They have like systematically changed their formula completely, and I mean, for the biggest instance, they made it to an open world game, which I know is another drawback for you because you don't like open world games.
Not a fan of open world.
No, but you have you've played one Pokemon game before, right?
Mm-hmm. I think
How long
it was
did-
black or white or
Yeah.
something
Either
really
way.
old in like Game Boy days.
If it was Game Boy days, it wasn't black white. Black white was DS. Either way,
It's really old.
Could
be DS.
Those older games were linear. You could only go, towards your objective. You could go backwards and shit like that, but it wasn't an open world game, right?
Yeah, it was like limited. I mean, you could still move around, but you're pretty much bordered in. You can only
Yeah,
go within
you
a
only-
certain range.
you only had so much you could do.
Right.
In this game, it's completely open world. You can go wherever you want. And I saw a lot of people complaining that there's not like level scaling or anything, but I can't think of an open world game that really does level scale.
Level scale and what aspect of it? Like,
So, when you're Pokemon have their level.
Oh, you saying so like the enemies would be
The enemy
like
stronger.
level 99 when you're like level 5?
Yeah.
Oh, welcome to Final Fantasy 14. Oh my god. That's
Welcome
what
to any
ruined that
open
one for
world
me.
game. I
That
mean,
ruined that game for me.
um,
And the open world aspect too.
but playing this game, I have completed the complete main story. I completed it literally 3 hours ago, and I enjoyed every second of it. With that said, I do not understand how a gaming company can put out a game that has so many glitches and is so fucking laggy in this day and age.
They
So,
rushed it.
no, this game's been in development for like 3 or 4 years now. There's no way
They
that,
rushed it still.
I mean, maybe.
Because
But
ultimately they're not testing their own games. That's what it feels like to me when games do that. Like
I was thinking the same thing.
Push out a game that obviously could have what they call took more time under the oven or in the oven, so to speak. But I think they're not literally going back and testing their own game. I don't know why.
Yeah. So,
Or maybe they're scaling up whether it's worth the amount of time it's going to take to fix it, or should they just put out a patch later on
yeah.
and go ahead and release it?
I will say, day one, I had a lot of lag issues, and I did crash once. The game crashed. Now, off the bat, the Nintendo Switch is not a strong piece of hardware. It's very limited. And it's also 5 years old, but it wasn't the strongest when it came out either. So,
But the devs are given like what limitations.
yeah.
So in order to make a game for that system.
So the biggest example of how bad some of the graphics were in this game, and I'm telling you right now, most of the game was beautiful. I think the graphics looked great. When you got into cities or where you start out
Like
as a
congested
school,
areas.
yeah, you start out in a school, like a classroom and everything. The characters moved kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Slideshowy.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was very, yeah, like there was a point where they were literally like rocking back and forth. It was literally like, and the best example I have personally was the windmills. There's windmills in a few areas, and it's literally like,
Like a clock,
yes,
like a hand on a clock instead of like fluid.
yeah. And I don't get how developers get away with putting games out like this. And Pokemon's not the only company that does this, by the way. There are plenty of games that come
for
out
sure.
like this. And I will say today is the second day the game's been out. I think they released a soft update, which is an update where it just kind of updates in the servers and stuff like that. Because it definitely was not as laggy today as it was yesterday. But yeah, I mean, like I said, this is the best experience I've had with Pokemon in a while. I think this is the most fun I've ever had in it. I like the changes a lot. There were changes from the last game, Legends Arceus, that they should have kept in that they didn't, but I feel as it didn't take away from the game. And if you like Pokemon and you're on the fence of buying this one, buy it. And unlike usual, there seems to be quite a few major differences from the colored or named exclusives.
So let me ask you this then.
Yes.
Does it seem like they did anything to draw in someone who is not into Pokemon?
I think
does it have anything to offer someone who doesn't like the previous games?
I think the open world is the biggest step in that direction.
So for open world people, it might draw some of them in.
Yeah, because a lot of people don't like the linear path falling games. But I think the open world was a big draw. And, I mean, I could see it bringing back a lot of returning people. For like, a lot of people do this thing in the Pokemon community where they'll leave for several generations. This is Gen 9 now. So there's been 9 different generations of Pokemon.
I think they do that in every game because they do that for Call of Duty and stuff.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Oh, I ain't playing no more Call of Duty. And then what? They're back.
But I think this
To
drew
bitch
a
some
lot of
more,
people
probably.
in. I think this drew a lot of well, I don't know because I haven't seen sales. I'll say right now the last mainstream game or main continuity game besides Legend Arceus was Sword and Shield, and that is currently the second most sold Pokemon game. I would not be surprised if this one passed it, because it is just fantastic. It's
Yeah, the reason I asked though is because that seems to be a trend I've noticed in a lot of gaming like franchises
mhm.
is they try to hit new audiences, like try to attract them by adding some kind of new game mechanic or something. You know what I mean? To try to like reach out to a larger audience and maybe draw some of them in that would not have maybe
I think
considered it.
the biggest push to that is the open world. This like
Yeah.
honest to God, um, and I'm like I said, I've already beaten the main game. I got the post game to go, and I'm probably gonna do shiny hunting and stuff. I know you know what shiny Pokemon
Or
are.
farming.
I call it's shiny hunting.
Well, I'm saying ultimately you're farming. I
Yeah, it's
mean,
farming.
it's like farming any other game. It just might be called a different name.
Yeah, I might
Farming
do
is
that.
boring as crap, and like
Oh yeah, no, it's not fun for me, but it's great to get the reward in the
yeah.
end.
Because I
Um,
played other games where I've farmed with people and I can't stand to do it for too long. It's just like
yeah, I'm sure this will be out before then, but I might stream that tomorrow, Sunday. Because I already found a Pokemon specifically that I want to farm, and I will not give out its name because it is a big spoiler. Because it was not shown off in any trailers or anything like that.
I
But
don't
like
understand that. That's another thing I don't understand. Okay, so Pokemon, everybody within the Pokemon community, as you call it,
Mhm.
know what the Pokemons are. So like they should all be available in every game because why not?
Okay, so until Pokemon Sword and Shield, they were. Now, in Pokemon Sword and Shield, we had 400 in the base game, and then they added DLC that added 200 more. So
Yeah.
600. There are over 1,000 Pokemon right now. At this moment, there's over 1,000. So I think in this game, there's like 402 in the base game, and we don't know if we're getting DLC or not. I kind of
Yeah.
hope so because I kind of like this region a lot. It's based off of Spain, and like I said, it's real pretty. I love how it plays, and I'm afraid the next game they're going to change everything and it's going to ruin it. But I'm real excited to see if they add DLC to it. And their DLC is never that expensive. It was like for Sword and Shield, it was one extension pack for $20, 2 DLCs.
Yeah.
So
See,
I don't
because
think.
like to me, I kind of liken that to like Mortal Kombat.
Mhm.
You know who the characters are. You might as well every time you make a new one include every damn character in one way or another. Either you can unlock them, you got to find them, you got to do something, you got to figure out how to get them. But
Well,
if they already exist and they exist within that like game realm or whatever, then they need to be somehow possible to be in the game. It makes no sense to exclude any of them.
now that I've beaten the main game, I have gone and looked up some spoiler stuff. I haven't looked into the post game because I haven't gotten there yet. But I looked up how many new Pokemon there were. There was 103 new Pokemon added. Some of those being evolutions to old Pokemon that are new to this region. And with the whole spoiler thing, it's mostly story spoilers. Because I'll tell you right now, anyone who's bought this game and maybe you've just bought it just to play competitive Pokemon because you need the latest Pokemon game to play competitive Pokemon, play through the game. This ending threw me the fuck off. I'll tell you later on why.
Yeah.
Because it went darker than any Pokemon game has ever gone, and I've always wanted that. Because we get like they call them ROM hacks or fan made games that are always in the dark era, and I love them. This Pokemon game went there. It went dark, and I fucking love it. And it deals with time travel, which is weird. And that's not a spoiler because that was kind of talked about in the trailers and stuff.
Trailers. Yeah.
Yeah. Pokemon Scarlet is more past space. Violet is future. And I've always liked technology, so of course I went with the future one.
I thought you got the Scarlet, not the Violet.
No, I went with Violet because I like the future stuff.
Yeah.
I did consider picking up Scarlet because here's another topic that I can get into. I pre-ordered my game with Amazon, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Amazon doesn't charge till the day before shipping, or until they ship. So Thursday, sorry, I get a message saying that the money's been taken from my account for my thing, right? So I go and look at the pre-order. It said it wasn't going to be here till like the 28th. So I said, well, fuck that. I'm not waiting a week, almost 2, to play the game. Because you're going to get spoiled in that time. And I was avoiding spoilers, and I'm so glad I did.
Yeah, you were still getting them. People were already.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
I'll get to... we could talk about that.
People with
in a
early
minute.
access or whatever were getting.
We could talk about that in a minute. So I decided... I was going to say, okay, I'm going to look up, see if GameStop or Walmart has pre-orders available so I can just go pick it up. It's the day before release. So no one had it. No one had it. I could pre-order it. So I said, fuck it, I'll buy the digital version because I like having my physical copies, especially of Nintendo games. Because as we'll talk about later, Pokemon games or other Nintendo games go up in price the older they get for some fucking reason. But I was considering buying Scarlet digitally and just letting Violet come in on the Amazon purchase. Because the Amazon
could be why it was so much harder to get the damn physical copies.
The only reason I even bought the Violet on Amazon was because it was supposed to come in a steel case. And that was the main reason I was considering just getting both copies. Because all right, well, I'll get Scarlet digitally and let Violet come in with the steel case. Ultimately, I decided to cancel and just get Violet digitally. I don't need 2 copies. But actually, with how the story went, I might consider picking up a second copy, or maybe even watching someone else play it. Which I know my wife was kind of interested in playing it, so maybe I will pick up a second copy so she can play.
Mm-hmm.
But with that said, me trying to avoid spoilers got really hard because we had, and this happens every time a Pokemon game is released. You have people who get the game like a week early, content creators, shit like that, or data miners who get access to the codes and shit like that. And actually, right off the bat, someone got the ROM on the internet, so the actual game saves and shit like that. They had access to play it on their emulators and stuff like that online about 2 weeks ago, or a week. It was 2 or 1 week ago, and YouTubers would fucking put spoiler videos up.
Putting spoiler videos up?
Would put like spoiler videos up saying like, you'll never guess what Pokemon's returning in Scarlet and Violet. But they'd show the fucker in the goddamn thumbnail.
Thumbnail, stupid.
Like, I don't mind if you're posting videos about the shit. Because there are people out there who don't care. They want to see the spoilers. They want to know what Pokemon's coming back.
When it comes to like Call of Duty, I love the spoilers because since I can't play it yet, at least I'm going to get more hyped because I know that
with Call of Duty, I would get that, but
the camos that are going to be in it, or maps or whatever. I want to know.
But there were like story spoilers, and there were fucking new Pokemon spoilers in the goddamn thumbnails, and I was so pissed off because I couldn't go onto YouTube and look at any videos without being spoiled about something. There were a few things I was spoiled on. None of them were major, luckily. And I remember the one day I was pissed off because I was on my break. And when I'm on my break, I go on my phone, I go on YouTube, watch a 10-minute video. And I texted you during that 10-minute video like, I fucking hate this shit. Because it happens every year, man.
Well, see, like what I was talking about earlier, that wouldn't even be a spoiler because they should have all the fucking Pokemon in it.
Oh, I think they should too, but we still have
So,
new.
I mean,
We still
you
get
won't
new
guess
Pokemon.
what ones. Oh my god! Well, I don't need to guess. I know this one exists, that one exists, so it's going to be in there somewhere.
They have
Even if it's not playable or whatever, like have it be in there.
they have an excuse for that too. Their excuse is they don't have the resources or time to animate over 1,000 different animals.
Well, they okay. So I know I'm not a Pokemon guy, and I'm trying not to look at it from that perspective, but no one said they had to have 1,000 of them.
There are 1,000 Pokemon.
No, I'm saying no one told them they had to come up with
No.
1,000 of them. You know what I'm saying? What if they've only come up with 500? Then it wouldn't be nearly as hard to include them all. Like
Yeah.
you said, they put 400 in the like
the base game. The base game has
base
400.
of it. So yeah, and then maybe another 100 could be like DLC or whatever, any fucking thing.
Well, that's
Could
what
be
they did.
unlockable or later on.
Like I said, in Sword and Shield, there was 2 DLCs, 1 expansion pass. You just paid for the expansion pass.
Because I can't think of any game that I would absolutely have to have 1,000 of anything. Like, okay, going back to Call of Duty, do I need 1,000 possible guns?
No.
Do I need
You can
1,000
only-
possible characters and guns and maps? No.
You can only use 6 Pokemon at a time, too. You can only have 6 Pokemon on your team. The rest go into a PC.
Yeah,
you
but
have-
I mean, still, it would be cool to know that they're all
Yes.
you have access to all of them.
So there was actually, I'm going to bring this up one more time. Sword and Shield are it's either first or second best-selling Pokemon games, right? When Sword and Shield was announced that they would not have all the Pokemon in it, they would only have 400, it started a whole fuck ton of controversy. And I will tell you right now, not many people actually give a shit whether or not all the Pokemon are in the game. I'm sure
Yeah, I get that.
we'd all be glad to see it, but the fact that there was so much controversy, yet it's still it's either first or second most selling game for Pokemon out there, should tell someone something. Obviously, Nintendo doesn't, or the Pokemon company, sorry, Game Freak. That's the company that makes them. Game Freak. They're not a big company.
So what if you're like a fanboy of a certain one that's rare and that's what you love about it? I don't think so. I think that one must be in like every fucking game. Has to be.
Just about.
So let's just
so-
say there's one that's way more rare than that. Like fucking it's like you said, it's only released in like Japan or something, whatever, Eastern world type stuff. Would you not be disappointed? Oh, there's another game that came out, didn't have my whatever hybrid
there's plenty
animal looking thing that I like.
There are plenty of people who are. For the longest time, there was a saying going around that every Pokemon is at least one person's favorite Pokemon. And that was debunked when they actually put out a survey about which Pokemon's your favorite Pokemon. And they gave out it was at the time 800 and something Pokemon. Turns out no one likes the Cocoon Pokemon at all.
Cocoon sounds
So
shitty.
There's like a called Caterpie. It turns into Metapod.
Oh, I remember that stupid
Yeah.
thing.
So Caterpie turns into Metapod. Metapod is no one's favorite Pokemon. There's a worm that turns into another type of cocoon. No one likes the Kakuna. No one likes Castform or whatever. So there are Pokemon that aren't people's favorites.
The
But
weird
most of
worm,
them,
the
they're-
stupid worm that becomes the
Or people like the worm. But
really
they don't like the middle part. They don't like the cocoon.
certain evolutions of it or whatever.
There was literally like maybe 6 Pokemon out of the 800 that there were 0 votes for. And it was like 3 million votes or something like that.
See what I'm saying though? So somewhere along the line, there's a fan of one that's not going to make the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess the spoilers would screw it for them. They'd be like, well, never mind then. Shit, I'm not going to get my favorite in there.
Yeah.
You know.
Luckily for me, not this Pokemon that I based my whole fucking name shit
Existence
off
off of.
basically. My actual favorite Pokemon is a Pokemon called Mimikyu, and he was in an official trailer. So
That's okay. Like some of them that are like what's the stupid one that I can't stand? Pikachu
yeah, I don't like Pikachu.
should be in every one of them because it's like literally the
It's the
face of the
mascot.
damn
Yes.
franchise. Yeah. So like,
You're gonna know Pikachu. So actually, Mimikyu. You know what a Mimic is, right?
yeah,
Mimikyu is an unseen figure that hides in a cloth that looks like Pikachu, but not. It's more ghostly looking. I'll show you a picture later, but I love it. It's adorable, and the way it acts is adorable in game. But
just send me the picture and that way I'll actually include it in the editing.
I can screen share it. Or yeah, I'll just
No, you don't have to. Just send it to me.
Yeah, but yeah, that's probably my favorite Pokemon. And you know, I kind of find it disappointing that every Pokemon's not in the game because I started with Gen 1. I was there. I mean, I wasn't. Gen 1 wasn't the newest game when I was out, but your brother, my uncle, he had Gen 1. He's the one who got me addicted to the game. And I played it in the order of Gen 1 to Gen 2 to Gen 3 and up. You
You'd
know?
have to be talking about my younger brother.
Yeah, your younger one.
Yeah.
And you know, so it is kind of disappointing that, you know, for instance, I really wanted to play the my Pokemon Violet with a Pokemon called Larvitar. It turned into this like dinosaur Pokemon in the end. It's third stage. Well, it's only available in Scarlet. So I didn't get to play through the game with that Pokemon on my team. I do have a friend who's playing Scarlet. He did pick one up for me so I can add it to the Pokédex in game though. But I missed out on the whole game with playing it. So yeah, that's kind of, there were
gotta get them
Pokemon.
both.
There was
That's-
Pokemon
man,
in
that's
Violet that I would rather
Fucked up
have.
marketing right there, man. I can't stand that.
It's not. They don't do it because of that. They do it because it's.
Everything Nintendo does is about money, dude.
Oh, I'm
You
sure.
can't say they didn't do it to make more money. I'm sure there's another reason too that they can hide behind, but
The base, the idea they give us is because they want you to have the interaction with a different person to trade.
yeah, they want you to pay twice. Yeah. Yeah.
Just
they
wait a
do,
month.
man.
Just wait a month when people trade it in and you can buy it secondhand. Because that gives the
For
most.
$5 less at GameStop. That's
Yeah.
shitty too, by the way.
Don't buy it at GameStop. Fucking buy it off Facebook Marketplace or somewhere else.
Go and get screwed over and buy something from some
I've
shady
never been
guy.
screwed off by Facebook Marketplace. eBay, on the other hand, fuck eBay. Speaking of
I've never had
eBay,
trouble on eBay.
speaking of eBay and Pokemon and exclusives, I told you I was going to do this. In my hand, I have Pokemon Crystal. It is the third game in the second generation games. A English copy, authentic version of Pokemon Crystal would cost me about $90 to $150. I want you to guess how much arguably this better version with the cool symbol on the back, because we didn't get this in English, is, or how much it's worth, or how much I paid for it exactly.
There's no telling with you, William. I wouldn't pay shit for it, but
I want you to guess how much I paid for this.
$20.
You know what? I'll give that to you. It was $35. It's close
35,
enough.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm just going to average to $100. This was $70 cheaper because it's Japanese. And for me, it's going on a shelf. I'm not actually going to play this because I can emulate it if I want to.
So it's literally a $35
art piece.
plastic thing that's going to
Yeah.
sit there.
It's going in my collection. And it baffles me that the English versions, the authentic ones, I should say, because they make fake fucking cartridges for games because people want to
That's
play.
what I have. Well, no, what I have is like they put a whole bunch of games in one game.
Yeah. And I don't have anything wrong with that, but when you're a collector like me, you want the authentic shit. So, when thought of buying Pokemon Crystal, I knew I wanted the Japanese version because it has this thing on the back that I think is so fucking cool. The Japanese version is the only one with this on it.
I don't even know what that is.
It's literally just a little symbol that the main Pokemon has on it, on its head right there.
Yeah,
And I could send you a picture of that too. To add
I
in.
saw it. I mean, it was clear enough.
But you know, that was the biggest draw to that. Not because it was cheaper, because I didn't know it was going to be cheaper when I was thinking of picking it up. So it baffles me that this is $70 cheaper just because it's in Japanese, and it's an authentic copy too. It's not fake. It's real Japanese version.
It's real Chinese stuff.
It also got me thinking that, like, if I'm going to do my idea, what I talked about last week of putting them in that case, I could just buy broken Game Boys. Like Game Boys that don't turn on. They'll probably be a hell of a lot cheaper, and I could probably buy them in a lot. And maybe even fix a few of them up if I buy a lot and sell them.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's all I just wanted to bring up with that.
All right, so let's switch
actually
gears here.
Surprised
Go
you
ahead.
didn't go. I'm surprised you didn't go over because I figured you would have said like I spent more than what the English version was.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, but $35, and it's the cheapest Pokemon game I've ever bought.
All right. So, on the same day that that game released,
What game?
what
Released?
else released? The Pokemon game.
Pokemon released yesterday.
Yeah. Well, okay, same week then. How about that?
Warzone released on the 16th.
Warzone released Wednesday on the 16th.
Yes, that's the same day Subnautica went bye-bye.
Yep, same day. That's right. You found something to move on to, which is called Contrast. Who knows
Yeah,
how
there's
long
not
that'll
much
be on
game-
there? Huh.
There's not much gameplay in Contrast. I think there's only 3 acts, and I was already to the 3rd act.
That's cool. So Modern Warfare 2. And now we have Warzone 2.
2.
You
I
didn't
haven't
play it
got to
any,
play
did
that.
you?
Nope. Have
Me
you?
neither.
Sweet.
Only reason I didn't play it is because I was sitting at work watching people play it.
Have you opened it up at all?
No.
Okay.
I doubt you have to download the update that includes it. So,
Well, I was just wondering if you saw what modes are available because
I did. The problem is it's only right now just the actual battle royale. The only difference is you can play solos, quads, or duos.
So we're probably gonna play once and then not touch it till it comes with the rebirth part.
Totally, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not even interested until so the Gulag looks better.
Okay.
It doesn't look like a damn public bathroom.
Okay, so maybe if the Gulag fixes enough problems, maybe we'll actually play it more than once.
So the Gulag does the same idea though, except it's 2-on-2.
Yeah.
And you can either be stuck with like another person from another team. And if your team wins, then you'll redeploy. Or you can be stuck with your partner if you both died at the same time.
Which is probably ideal.
Which I actually saw the guy and his partner do it, and they communicated so well that they took out the other team with no problem. They're like, I'm going rush. I'm rushing right, rush left.
Who are you watching?
I can't even think of the dude's name, but he was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm working overnight like that, it's whoever's on.
Got you.
So they look
streaming.
out.
Okay, you were streaming.
I was streaming.
Yeah, got you.
I wasn't streaming. I was watching someone streaming it. Yeah. So, what else is? I mean, it's a whole new map.
Mm-hmm.
It has 3 circles that combine to make one at the very end.
Okay.
So you can deploy into one of the 3 circles. I think they call them like either A, B, and C, or 1, 2, and 3. I think it's A, B, and C. I'm not sure.
Probably ABC. They like using those.
They like that for like other
Alpha,
modes.
Beta, Charlie.
So the circles will move slowly to like form into
They'll
each
conform.
other to form one big circle, and then at the end that big circle starts moving too, and it's very tight, but it gets really small and then it starts moving until somebody wins. I did get to witness somebody winning it. It ends the exact same way. It's no spoiler. It's not fucking pointless to treat that like a spoiler because anybody who's seen it is willing to, I've
It just
already
says
seen
Victory Royales, and then you can fucking Fortnite.
No,
dance
you
people.
go up the helicopter and like all the credits,
Oh, yeah.
like who else played, like thanks for playing.
I actually like that. It's fucking cool.
Yeah. So it ends the same way. I don't know why they didn't bother to like make it somehow interesting there.
Yeah, at least a different kind of cutscene.
It looks like the same idea though, as far as like the time to kill is like 52 forevers unless you get the meta gun, and then it's like almost instant.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever have you. There's also a new mode called DMZ.
DMZ.
Yes.
Oh man, that makes me think of DMV, and I don't like it.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying. It's just as annoying as the actual DMV.
Oh, oh great.
So DMZ mode is like, I don't even know how to explain it. Everybody was saying before the game came out it was supposed to be something like Escape from Tarkov.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
you
stupid.
talked about this.
It's like literal like missions and shit.
Okay.
And they're stupid. But so there's a gun that you have to play DMZ to unlock, which I'm not a fan of that.
No,
Because it forces people to play a mode they don't even want to play. It's an M13. They had it in Modern Warfare 2019. It was one of my favorite guns in that.
But you know the best way to unlock it? Buy skin for it.
No, right now there's none available.
When you can.
Of course. Eventually that's the way I'm going to end up unlocking it. But
yeah, same.
Because I'm going to use COD points. I'm not going to use money.
I'm going to use money.
So
if it's really nice, I'll probably use money.
The way to unlock it though is hard. You have to go to a certain spot, kill a chemist who's wearing a yellow suit while you're in like a poisonous gas area. So you have to either have a gas mask or like get out of that area and come back when you recover. You have to kill this guy, take it from him, and then you have to exfil with it.
Oh, God.
So you have to get on a helicopter and be
so you have to
pulled
actually
up into
get to
the
the end.
Yeah, you have to. Well, at any point during the game while you're in there, you can exfil.
Okay.
But you have to get there, and then when you activate the exfil,
mm-hmm.
while you're waiting on the chopper to come,
mm-hmm.
bad guys will come. So there's AI. A lot of it is AI mixed in with real players. So real players can kill you and take your gun and then exfil with it. Or AI could kill you, and they make the AI have damn near aimbot. So like they don't miss.
Yeah.
So those like people were finding ways like and making videos of it, like where you get in a car, getting like an armored vehicle and run them over, hop out real quick, grab it, get the fuck out, and then go exfil. None of that interests me. It's such a slow mode otherwise. Like if you're just over there playing that mode, it's not fun.
If you really like that gun, I would say we do it once just to get the gun and get out.
Nah, you wouldn't do it once. You'd do it several times, get frustrated, and quit trying.
I say we would do it once. We either get the gun and get out, or we're not playing it again.
Right. Oh, we would make one attempt at it.
Yes.
Okay. Well, so sort of like what I mentioned earlier when you were talking about Pokemon, how like they're trying to attract a different audience.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what they're doing with these modes. I'm sure they're going for the Escape from Tarkov audience or whatever.
Actually, can I ask you something while we're bringing back this subject up? What would a company like Pokemon, where you're already not interested in,
what would it take for them to interest me?
Yeah.
Isn't that game turn-based?
Yes. You don't like turn-based.
Okay. So make a live-action version.
Or real-time version.
Or whatever you want to call it.
It's real, yes.
Who's telling their so in my way of saying it, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
First of all, so make it that way where it's actually you're fighting instead of like taking turns doing your stupid things. I hate turn-based.
Okay.
Be a little less cartoony. Jesus. It's like playing fucking preschool or some shit. I don't even know. All the characters look really dumb.
They look very chibi in the old ones.
Yeah, I mean they still like it. Still just looks like a plushie festival or some shit, right? Okay.
No, I wanted to bring this up. A lot, not all, but a lot of the new Pokemon look like what we call Fakemons, which are fan made Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
They look like so different, and it might just be the new art style that they don't look like real Pokemon. It's weird.
He said real and Pokemon in the same sentence, guys.
Real in the Pokemon, you know what I mean?
Right, I know. That's my whole point, though. So maybe I would be a little more interested, but they haven't reached out to mine. Instead, they reached out the opposite way and made it open world.
Yeah.
So, what else about Tarkov? I mean, not Tarkov.
DMZ.
DMZ. So basically, yeah, that was the reason I mentioned it when you were talking about Pokemon, because it's like games, not just these two games, but several games are like trying to reach out to
Yeah.
an expanded audience. A lot of times they do so by open worlding it.
And I do want to apologize. I meant to bring that up earlier while I was talking about it.
Yeah, so
what would attract you to it?
that's sort of like the whole thing with the DMZ. Now, I was watching a guy stream Lego Unlocked. Have you heard of him?
No.
Okay, so he's already unlocked all of his camos and all this. He's like good for that sort of stuff, right?
Yeah, I don't watch a lot of streamers.
He grinds. I mean, when you're able to make a living off of YouTube and gaming and stuff like that, then you can kind of like, get a lot of shit done really fast. Because so anyway,
I would probably
so
never get close to that for gaming.
So he was streaming, and I happened to be one of them I was watching, and he was saying, somebody mentioned skill-based matchmaking.
Mm-hmm.
Lord knows everyone's just bitches and isn't a fan of it. And I've always been sort of like neither here nor there. I do think sometimes it's a little too strong and other times whatever. But I've always been trying to say, and what I really couldn't articulate as well as he did was he basically explained exactly why they will never, ever do away with skill-based matchmaking. And it's to basically attract the players and get them to play more, the noobs, the ones that aren't all elite and grind and all they do is play this game for like their whole life. So,
it's real hard for a new player to come in and play against people like us who have been playing for 10 years, know everything about the game, and we'd be getting 30 kills a game off them because
we're beaming them and then they're not doing shit against us. I mean
that's not how you make a sale.
So that's not the only thing though. So they're like, well, yeah, but they're turning their back on the hardcore lifers on the COD community, and it's like, you know how many there are of you compared to them? Like ultimately, that's what it boils down to. How many? Like if it's millions that play this shit all the time, it's billions that occasionally play the damn game.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Or that try it, and if they like it, might stick around. So why would they cater to the smaller crowd, which is the hardcore ones that you figure are going to bitch, but they're always going to buy it?
Yeah.
I've bitched about previous Call of Duty games.
No.
And I still buy the next one. So
with your whole so first I say that's because we're all sheep and we'll put out whatever they fucking give us. Ba motherfucker.
Take my money.
I said the same thing about the Pokemon games. And I'll say the same thing about COD. We're fucking sheep when it comes to this shit.
I mean, I'm going to buy it. I mean, I don't even deny that, though. I'm not like, fuck this. I'm never buying another Call of Duty game until they get rid of skill-based matchmaking. See you next game.
With skill-based matchmaking, kind of where you went, I think they either go to one extreme or they go to the other. You're playing really good against really bad players, and then out of nowhere you're shot to like fucking amazing players where you can't get a single damn kill, or they
So-
know every strat in the fucking game.
So I learned something from watching these people stream. Okay, I was watching another guy stream.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Seabass. He's really cool. The young guy, younger than you, I think. He was streaming and he basically would say like, yeah, you know, what I like to do is if somebody played really bad in the lobby that I was in, I'll try to join their match. Like, so it's part of the whole what they call reverse boosting, which I think is a terrible name for it because it doesn't even make sense, but that's what they're going with, so that's what I'm gonna say.
It's still boosting. It's just
No, it ain't really boosting it because what they're doing is they're purposely. So one way of reverse boosting is to tank on purpose.
uh-huh.
So you play like shit for like 5 straight matches so that you can get put in them with a lobby full of noobs that can't play, and then you just kill them.
Gotcha.
I've seen people do this where they like as soon as they spawn, they drop a fucking grenade on themselves and blow up,
Mhm.
and then just keep doing that where they go like 0-50 for the match, and they do that like 5 straight matches, and then they get put in, and then they get like a nuke. You know,
Maybe I should try
playing
that.
against really shitty people. It's smart, and it's sad that you have to resort to shit like that to get around.
Mhm.
But that's when they play for content, which I should have mentioned in last week's playing for content thing. But, you know, but what he talks about doing is basically just taking. So you're not on your skill base, you're on their skill base.
Yeah.
Because apparently the lower member is whose skill level you're on. So if you join his match, then he's the party leader, or he's the one that they're basing the skill base shit off of. So
Is that a new thing, or
no, apparently that's just how skill based matchmaking works.
I don't think that's how it's worked.
I think it does. It just ultimately, if you're that low on the end, you're gonna get fucking murked anyway.
No, I don't think so. Because me and you are pretty good at the game, right? I would say that.
I'm okay. I mean, depending on if I'm tired or if I'm shitty, or like if I'm really like synced in, then yeah. But if I get put in there, if I do too good for like 5 straight matches, then all of a sudden I'm in with like people that are way better than me. It shows. It shows.
But me and you are decently good at the game. I'll say that.
Yeah. I mean, I go positive more than I go negative.
Now, we know people, and we've played with people who are a fuck ton better than us. And we'll get put into games with them. They'll join onto us. And it seems like the fucking skill level skyrockets. Where me and you can't do jack shit while they're there. Me and you have had this experience before.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, ultimately, okay, so the number
think
one
that's-
thing is always going to be connection. So
Uh-huh.
if you have a good connection, that's the first thing they're going to match you with is people with similar ping and similar connection.
Yep.
Then of that pool, they're going to put people who are in whatever stupid skill-based level that they put you in.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean that every single one of them is going to be equally as horrible as you've been lately or equally as great as you've been lately. They're going to be, you know what I'm saying? They're going to be a mixture still because it's not perfect.
Yeah.
And if it's one dude that drops a damn nuke in the match, but everyone else was just like you know what I'm saying? Like, so if you went like negative and even that winning team's whole team went negative, but one dude was like 50-1.
Mm-hmm.
And so you felt like you just got screwed by skill-based matchmaking when in reality, that dude probably dropped in on some lower level people, just like the guy was doing.
Yeah.
Just so he can get his damn nuke.
So me and you should totally try that, right?
Oh, I'm going to try it to get a nuke, man.
I want to
I
get a nuke.
want a nuke. I want to drop in. So I've been thinking about like, but it's hard to do because first you gotta remember which player it was. Then you gotta go into like recent players,
And
a
then you
lot
gotta
of
hope there's a
them
spot
will
open.
show as offline and they're not joinable.
Oh, yeah.
So you gotta find one that you can actually join. Like all this time you're just killing it and you're probably not having any fun just trying to get in.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I thought that was kind of cool.
Do you want to move on to another topic, or you want to go
Yeah.
ahead and go to our wheels?
Oh, we'll do another topic. We got a little bit of time.
Okay.
So what I want to talk about is I've been working on a video for my other YouTube channel. I picked up a bunch of Steam keys from a website called Fanatical.
You told me about this.
No, I told you about the ones from eBay, but I'm not going to do them.
Oh.
They sucked. So Fanatical, actually, I got some really good ones, and I
really?
definitely got my money's worth. I think I got my money's worth either way, even from the shitty ones from eBay. But
They're like dollar games, but you got so many of them would add it up.
yeah. So what I did was I bought 10 Steam keys on Fanatical that were mystery Steam keys, as they call them.
Yeah.
And I paid $6.99, so it's 70 cents per key, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these games sell for like $20 on Steam. So I'm planning on, basically doing all of them as play a little bit of the game, determine whether I got my money's worth or not, or whatever, and whether I'd recommend it or whatnot. So I think Steam Keys is really cool for someone who doesn't have much of a library.
Mm-hmm.
The one problem is if you buy too many of the packs, like the bundles, you start getting duplicates.
Yeah, but then you can give them to friends to play with.
No, what I was thinking of doing on the video, consider this a bit of a plug, is that would be the giveaway. I could do the giveaway of anything that was a duplicate, which I did get some that I already had. So I would basically give them to viewers, So I thought that would be kind of cool. And that's basically all I really want to say about Steam Keys, other than a lot of times they're worth it, and sometimes you just get shit that looks like mobile games that would have been free. But so they have rules though. So like it'll say like none of these games are free, none of them are game add-ons. They're actual whole games. And like they have to have like a certain rating level, like on Steam, maybe like a 70% would suggest it or some shit like that, would recommend it. So that's just sort of how that works. So I think it's cool. This felt like something that would be worthwhile to do. It's a lot of work to make this video. It's a lot of work to make these podcast videos too. So well worth a like and a subscribe and all that other good shit.
And I'll even let you come up with the secret phrase for this week.
It takes just a small little click to just click like, man. And not much typing to put some kind of comment in the comment section, just so we know you watched it. And maybe you paid attention and had a thought somewhere in the middle, like, yeah, I love Pokemon or anything. Feel free to
everyone tell me how you felt about this game, because I know this game's 50-50 in the community.
What game?
The Pokemon game. People are hating it and people are loving it. It's about half and half.
Oh Lord, that's every game, it seems like.
I think that, like I said, I honest to God believe it was the best experience I've had with Pokemon.
Yeah.
And it didn't feel like it was riding on nostalgia like a lot of the older Pokemon games were.
Yeah, for real. So what we're going to do, I guess we'll go ahead and do the wheel spin here.
The wheel spin.
Let me get my phone thing to the whatever I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Get my thing connected here.
While you're connecting that, I can go ahead and talk about something else.
All right, well, it's connected, but go ahead.
So, recently, as you know, I used to play a competitive card game, like in real life, like trading cards.
Mm-hmm.
And I quit because it's a lot of money, it's a lot of time that I don't have anymore. Well, they recently just released a video game for the first time in America. And I was thinking to myself, I was like, this would be a good time for me to pick up this game and play the digital version so I can still play with those friends who still play the card game. Because I know they were thinking of picking it up too.
Mm-hmm.
and start playing some again. And the game came out for Nintendo Switch and Steam for $70 USD. Okay, that's not a problem. That's about the average price of gaming nowadays, right?
Mm-hmm.
$70 for a new game. The DLC that adds, or the expansion pass, which they call it, which adds future card sets. So, about every few months in the real life trading card game, a new set releases, new set of cards, stuff like that. So for the TCG digital card game, that's already $70 to get the next however many sets they have planned for this game was another $70. So $140 for this.
Mm-hmm.
And I was, this was a big problem with the community of this card game. They were saying like that's way too overpriced. It's not at all worth it, because it's not. And half the shit we're not even getting till like June of next year.
And you can't collect it if it's a damn
Yeah, it's
video game, right?
yeah. You can use the cards in game though, so it's offering up more decks to use in the game. But $70 for the game and $70 for the expansion. And if they continue to support the game, I'm going to assume there's going to be more expansions that are probably going to cost the same amount.
Imagine imagine if you paid $140 total and support went away in like a year.
Yeah.
The servers sucked. No one gave a shit.
Well, not even that.
Prevented cheating or
not even if like
nothing.
they stop supporting it and stuff like that. If I spent that $140, I bought the base game, and I bought all the new sets, and then they add even more. Like they add more sets with more money behind it. It's fucking ridiculous, and this company is taking too much pride in what they made. With that said, the whole community has basically all gathered together and agreed to make Brazilian Nintendo eShop accounts. Because if you make a Brazilian eShop account and you buy the game, it's only going to cost you 34 USD.
Still ultimately equals out to 70 if you also buy the $34 worth of DLC shit or whatever it is.
I think paying the $34 for the DLC is more worth it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a little bit of a DLC. It's a bunch of sets, but it's not $70 worth of sets. Or no, fuck that. It's not $140 worth of sets.
Yeah.
In my opinion, the game should only cost $20.
Sounds like. I mean, it's a card game, dude.
Yeah, it's a card game. It's
picture like Uno being a damn.
Uno's a $10 fucking game, dude.
And Uno was like $5. I thought there was like a new Uno Rush or Uno something else that was like $10. But
Uno,
even still,
like the video game's like $10.
Yeah, or a poker game, or
it has
even like Magic or whatever.
It has expansion packs and stuff though, and I think they're all $2 a piece.
None of those types of games like that are ever dropped for like $70.
No, there's no fucking reason it should
card-based like game. No.
Everyone agrees that this game should not be $70. Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm not even talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! Here, by the way. The card game I'm talking about is called Card Fight Vanguard. Yu-Gi-Oh! The like second biggest card game in the world. When its video games release, they're still in the $40 range. And they have DLC, but their DLC is a lot more what's the word? Affordable. Like $10 for probably all their DLC in their game.
Yeah.
That's worth it. Fuck. Yu-Gi-Oh! Just released a new game for free. The game's free.
Fuck that. If it's free, I don't trust it.
It's fucking.
Then it's pay to win. It's pay to play. It's pay to everything.
You can pay to win, obviously, but they have a crafting, like you craft the cards with materials.
Mm-hmm.
so you can break down cards you don't want into the material to make the card for your deck. It's fucking fantastic. It plays great. It's the Yu-Gi-Oh game, you know, on a computer, set up to be the best way they can make it without having you spend $300 to build whatever fucking deck you want to build. I don't understand why other card games can't. I think Magic actually is good with theirs too. I don't play Magic. I don't know.
Magic is cheap. I know that. It ain't no damn $70 game. I wouldn't play it, but it ain't $70 damn dollars.
The like real TCG or the digital game?
No, the card video game.
Yeah, okay. The video game's pretty cheap.
That's what I'm saying. If you're going to turn
there's a-
something like that into a video game, don't expect to get what you get, the type of revenue that you get from the nerds that play the damn card game.
Don't fucking $70. I'll tell you right now, to build a real life deck, maybe cost $100. Why the fuck would I spend $140 on the virtual version? Fuck you.
On that note, let's get to this wheel spin.
Fuck
dude.
you, Bushy Road. No one's paying that price.
And William is going first.
All right, I can't see the wheel.
I know. I'm bringing it up. I'm waiting for you to. All right,
Well, I was going to
here we
keep talking because I have to click to add it up. Just fill the empty space.
There you go.
Also, I don't know if it's the actual card game company that made the decision to make it that price. Bushy Road is the card game company. But they allowed it to go out with that price, so fuck you.
All right. Let's see. You ready?
Yep. I
Let's
want Power
do this.
Rangers, god damn it.
What?
I want
Power
Power
Rangers?
Rangers, god damn it.
Quick spin. What the hell? Really? All right, fine. Do it this way. Spin.
I think it's because you're in the edit thing. What if you go up to the top where it says spin?
No,
Oh,
spin.
there it is. Power Rangers, Power Rangers, Power Rangers, Power Rangers.
You just pass
Aw.
Power Rangers. No, you can't do XO1. You already did it.
XO1!
Yes, again.
No!
Spin again.
I want to take that one to choose my own.
I meant to take that off. No.
That should be a
The
choose
gray
my
ones.
own.
See those gray ones right there? That's the choose your own.
This war of mine.
It's war of mine.
All right, fuck you.
That's yours. That's this war of yours. All right, pull up my wheel.
Looks like a book, man.
Oh, get the B-Fi ad. La la la, no one cares. Shut up. All right, my
Oh,
wheel.
god damn it.
Look, you can't even make out nothing on my wheel. It's so much.
All right, go ahead, spin.
Spin away. Jotun
Jotun.
Epic. So that's on Epic Games. That's a PC game.
All right. While you pull up your summary for yours, I'm going to go ahead and read mine.
All right.
So
Let me
this
get a quick
war of
share in
mine-
here.
That's fine. This War of Mine is a survival-themed strategy game where the player controls a group of civilian survivors hiding inside a damaged house in the
Indeed.
besieged fictional city of Porgarin, Graznava.
Krasnova.
Nope, that's an A. That's not an O.
Nava? Oh, I never heard of that.
Yeah, it's N-A, or it's Graznavia. The main goal of the game is to stay alive during the war with the tools and materials that players can gather. It's a survival game. I got a fucking survival game.
Ha! Serves you right, bitch. All right. So
I
what
actually
do I
like
have?
survival games. All right, so
Jotun or Jotun, whatever the hell that is.
Yep.
Is an action exploration game for PC that takes you on an epic journey through Viking purgatory. In Jotun, you play as Thora, a Norse warrior who has died an inglorious death and must face the challenges of Viking purgatory
I like
To
the female
prove-
version of Thor.
to prove herself to the gods and enter Valhalla. So it's an action. So I'll probably like this game. Yeah. If it's an action exploration game, which means probably open world. But just by saying exploration tells me open world.
Mm-hmm.
There's puzzles in it. That sucks. But oh well. I'll get through it. Now, so I want to see how long the game is, because if it's one of them that see if there's any possibility that you could actually beat it.
You can do that. I mean, if the games fucking suck, I'm not gonna beat it.
Obviously. I'm not going to tell you to play it forever.
I don't care if it's 30 minutes.
7 hours. So, oh, no, 5 hours. Okay, so let's see. And focusing on the main objectives, Jotun is about 5 hours in length. If you're a gamer that strives to see all aspects of the game, you're likely to spend around 7 for 100% completion. So that's my shit right there. Okay,
There you go.
sounds
Am I
good.
supposed to look up mine?
You can. I mean,
Nah. If I like it, I'll play it till I get bored. It's basically what it's gonna come up to.
yeah. Well, of course. I mean, that goes without saying. If I like it enough, I would finish to 5 hours. I mean, shit. I would maybe not stream the whole 5 hours, but I'd probably end up finishing it offline,
Yeah,
off stream.
you've done that before, haven't you?
But yeah, that's what I did with the Narco Terror. I finished it offline,
Ah, got you.
but I recorded it, so I ended up beating it anyway while recording. So that's a good thing.
Yep. All right. So thank you all for watching. Oh wait, we should tell them where they can find us.
So this is different because I don't know if you've decided otherwise or what, but I think I'm just going to stream on my YouTube channel. I'm gonna give that a shot. I feel like Twitch is dead. Like honestly, there's no discoverability on Twitch.
Yeah, I can see that. I would
mean-
like to stream on both of them, but StreamYard doesn't allow that unless I fucking pay for. Not StreamYard, sorry. Streamlab doesn't allow that unless I pay for their.
Oh, okay. So I have the paid. That's why I could do it, but I don't want to.
How much is?
I
the
think it's hard to
paid?
keep up with two chats, huh?
How much is the paid? Not
It's
enough?
like I paid for a whole year at a time. It was like $100
Oh, okay.
or $110 or $120 or something.
Got you.
But yeah, so I will probably, you can probably find me. Let me think, what day will I be doing this? It can't be Friday this time because I'll be working Friday.
Mine will probably be Friday or Saturday. Well,
Saturday,
Friday.
probably for me.
Yeah.
I'll try to do it before we actually end up recording the new episode.
Yep.
And that would be at Mystery 8-Ball Gaming. I'll probably try to add the
Little banner.
banner somewhere up in here.
And I'll probably be streaming Friday, same time as usual, 9 o'clock. EST, of course. And I'm not decided yet. It's either going to be at twitch.tv/Mewwill or youtube.com/Mewwill123.
I will tell you this. I was just checking the because there's actually a tab for live on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
People will stream any random dumb stuff, and at least 50 people are in there watching them. Stuff that's not entertaining either, because I dropped in on some of it, and I'm like, oh my god, 50-something people are watching this shit.
I might test it tomorrow.
So it's worth giving it a shot there just to see. You need
Tomorrow-
to stream down Pokemon anyway.
Yeah, I think I might test it.
That should be your test.
Tomorrow tomorrow as of the time recording, not at the time release. I might test it tomorrow, shiny hunting.
So guys, like, subscribe, do all that other great stuff. Leave a comment down below, anything, any
What's the
suggestions.
secret comment?
Secret comment is neon signs, since we both have one.
Yeah, he convinced me to get one. He didn't have to try very hard because I already kind of.
Yeah, it took a whole lot of arm twisting and stuff.
Well, I mean, I've always wanted one that said, Mewwill on it.
Yeah.
'Cause
I
that's
was
my
wanting one
online
Mystery 8
persona.
Ball, so.
I also want a
Um,
tattoo like you got with mine on.
And there you go.
Yep.
So, like, subscribe, comment, do all that shit because it's a lot of work goes into this. It'd be nice to have some interaction. Because we want to hear from you guys and we want to hear what y'all think.
Yeah, definitely. How much do you guys hate me? Like,
how much does he suck? Like, really?
I think it's head. I think I fucking suck. I think you should all hate me. Like, why the fuck you guys listen to me?
Tell us why William sucks. Troll his ass because he's a troll. He likes to be trolled.
And I would also like to hear what people think of the new Pokemon game if any of you listeners played it.
Or DMZ or anything we talked about today.
Yeah, I also want shit. Honestly, I want to hear what you guys think of Contrast. I want to hear what you think of Fade to Dark or Fade to Silence. I want to hear what you think of fucking Pokemon, DMZ.
DMV. Yeah, what do you think of the DMV? Probably we all think the same thing about that, except for the people that work there, I guess.
What's another game we talked? What do you think about Squirrel with a Gun? Come on.
We didn't talk about that.
We are now.
Not this time.
Anyways, I was Will. This was James. We're out.
See ya.
You're all noobs.